Blood hit the sand before the crowd even stopped laughing. Jace Riven stood in the center of the alien arena, his shirt torn, one eye swollen shut, ribs cracked. Around him, 3 dead challengers lay still, their bodies twisted, weapons broken. In their hands, the galaxy had expected a joke from Earth, a quick death. Something to laugh at, but Jace didn't fall. He wiped blood from his mouth and stared at the next wave of fighters entering the pit, 10 feet tall, armored, claws dripping with venom. The announcer's voice echoed, "Round 2, begin." Everyone watching on 1,000 worlds was sure he'd die this time. He had no armor, no enhancements, no backup. Just human muscles and something no alien had, rage. He didn't run. He charged. A Vernax warrior lunged. Jace ducked, spun, and drove a jagged piece of bone into its throat. Gasps rippled through the crowd. That was when the laughter stopped. Somewhere in the shadows, a high-ranking alien general whispered, "We need to kill him, now, before they all believe." The assassin's body dropped in front of the arena gates. The next morning, tied in his own cloak, a message was carved into his armor in 3 languages. "I see you. Try harder." The council panicked. Jace Riven was no longer just a fighter. He was becoming a symbol. Unmodified, untrained, impossible to control. They ordered a full genetic scan, quietly, secretly. But the results didn't stay hidden for long. Jace's DNA wasn't entirely human. Buried deep in his blood was a dormant gene code from Earth's lost colony on Zenthra, a world swallowed by time rifts and gravity storms centuries ago. Everyone believed that colony was gone, extinct, but somehow Jace carried its legacy. A bloodline designed to survive extreme chaos. Pain didn't register the same. Time moved slower for him under stress. His reflexes weren't faster, they were sharper. Council scientists went pale. "Activate Protocol Red," said a nervous officer. "Terminate him in the next round." Quietly. But they had no idea that Jace had already stolen their plan. And the next fighter wasn't walking into an arena. They were walking into a trap Jace had built using their own weapons. While the galaxy watched for blood, Jace was thinking bigger. Between fights, he studied the arena, its gates, its vents, its blind spots. Every time he was resting, he was actually mapping. He was turning their death trap into a weapon, and he wasn't just fighting warriors anymore. He was battling the idea that humans were a mistake, that Earth didn't belong in the stars. But the secret inside him was waking. Late one night, medbots tried to inject a neurotoxin during routine treatment. Jace didn't even flinch. His body burned the poison away. His pulse never changed. That's when a doctor from Earth, watching illegally through a hacked feed, whispered to her team, "He's not just Zenthran blood. He's what they tried to make and failed." The council had buried the Zenthra experiments, claiming the genetics were unstable. But Jace Riven was proof it had worked. One perfect fusion of instinct, rage, and adaptability. And now that blood was in the spotlight, alien warlords began sending scouts to Earth, not to destroy it, but to find more like him. What they didn't know, there weren't more. There was only Jace. Galactic broadcast stopped calling Jace a lucky survivor. Now they called him something else, the Human Reaper. Across the stars, alien commanders deleted old clips of their generals mocking Earth. Influencers who once joked about primitive humans quietly went offline. Political leaders issued statements like, "We've always respected Earth's potential." No one was laughing anymore. But Jace wasn't watching the news. He'd left the arena, slipped through the chaos of a firebombed transport dock. No alarms, no traces. He headed straight into the dead sector's galactic no-go zones filled with monsters, pirates, and rogue AI. Places even armies avoided. Why? Because Jace didn't want to prove he could beat champions. He wanted to see if he could beat the impossible. On an abandoned planet ruled by plasma beasts, he walked in alone. No armor. Just a stolen blade and a bag of food. 2 days later, he walked out, bleeding, burned, alive. Behind him, the creatures were dead or had fled. Cameras caught a single image. Jace standing over the smoking ruins, looking up at the sky, as if daring the galaxy to send something stronger. In the farthest corner of the galaxy, 3 alien civilizations bowed to one ruler, Sulthur Prime, a self-aware superintelligence that had ruled for 900 years. It didn't command armies. It was the army, thousands of robotic avatars, planet-killing satellites, a voice in every network. No one challenged Sulthur Prime. No one survived trying, until Jace Riven walked straight into its central city and lit a flare. "Come and kill me," he said. Within minutes, machines filled the sky, drones, war mechs, orbital cannons swarmed. Jace didn't run. He hacked a mining tower, overloaded its core, and redirected its power surge straight into the God AI's control grid. Then he tore through the remaining defenses with nothing but a rail spike and raw fury. By the time Sulthur's core exploded, Jace had already walked out the other side, smoke behind him. Eyes forward, billions watched the footage, a being worshipped as a god, destroyed by a human with no fleet, no army, no backup. That's when the galaxy realized something horrifying. Jace wasn't trying to conquer them. He was proving he didn't need to. The Galactic Council met in secret. Jace Riven had become more than a fighter, more than a threat. He was a symbol. Entire species were whispering his name. Colonies under alien rule painted his face on their walls. His kills weren't just famous, they were inspiring revolts. Council's response? Level 1 sanction on Earth. All trade blocked. All communication jammed. All travel denied. And one demand: surrender Jace Riven or face total isolation. But Earth didn't flinch. They answered with one move. They released a full, uncut recording of Jace's last fight, broadcast live across 700 systems. No edits, no music, just raw footage. Jace kneeling beside a dying alien champion, then rising with blood-soaked hands and saying, "I don't fight for Earth. I fight because you thought we wouldn't." The crowd went silent, and somewhere, on a mining moon far from Earth, a child whispered to his father, "Do you think he's coming here next?" The father stared at the stars. "He doesn't need to come. His name already did." It started with a small mining colony. One worker refused to bow during a broadcast from his alien overlord. They executed him on the spot. The next day, the entire colony revolted, armed with stolen tools, ancient rifles, and a single message carved into the wall: "We are Jace Riven." Then, it spread. On slave worlds, prisoners began fighting back. On corporate planets, workers tore down their own factories. On war-torn moons, even children shouted Jace's name as alien banners burned. He didn't ask for any of it. He wasn't leading a rebellion, but they were rising because of him. They didn't want him to save them. They wanted to become him. Across the stars, alien governments panicked. Warlords declared martial law. Propaganda flooded the networks. But it was too late. Jace's symbol, a broken chain over a burning star, was everywhere. He hadn't built an army. He'd lit a match. And now the galaxy was on fire. Some begged Jace to lead the new revolution. Others wanted him dead before the fire spread further. Jace just whispered, "Let them try." The Varnak Empire, one of the oldest and cruelest in the galaxy, had had enough. They didn't care about uprisings. They didn't care about symbols. They cared about control. So they made a move, a full-scale war declaration on Earth. 100 warships, 5 battlecruisers, 2 dreadnoughts, all headed straight for the Sol system. The message was clear: give us Jace Riven, or Earth burns. But by the time the fleet reached Mars orbit, Jace was already on board their flagship. He didn't bring an army. He brought a plan. He bypassed their scanners, snuck into the war room, and hijacked the Admiral's broadcast. Across all channels, across every ship, Jace's voice cut in. You brought war to Earth. I brought it home. Then everything exploded. Literally, Jace had rigged the command ship's power core to overload and sensed it to the fleet's central control grid. In under 3 minutes, every ship lost its command structure. Crews panicked. Systems crashed. The fleet fell apart without a single human shot fired. One man. One plan. The Varnak Empire called it treason. The galaxy called it a lesson. The Varnak Empire fell within a week. Their ships drifted dead in space. Their leaders vanished. Systems once under their rule declared independence overnight. No one asked what Jace Riven would do next. They asked, who will he come for now? But Jace didn't return to Earth. He didn't claim a throne, or power, or glory. He disappeared. Some say he walked into the black sectors of space, and never looked back. Others believe he became a myth traveling between stars, helping the forgotten and hunted. All that remained was his message, carved in steel across the gates of a rebuilt Earth embassy on a neutral world. We never wanted war. You just never wanted us to win. The Galactic Council gave Earth a seat they once said humans would never earn. Not out of kindness, out of fear. The word human no longer meant weak. It meant unpredictable. It meant resilient. It meant don't underestimate them ever again. No one laughs at humans now, because the galaxy remembers the one man who made them kneel. And they pray. They never meet another.